People would always tell me, you're a light, you're the life of the party, the funny one, the one with the best advice, with the biggest smile and the loudest laugh. But for the last 2 years, I fell in and out of darkness. I was good again for a little, but the parts of me I hadn't healed came tumbling down. I drove into a parking lot and made a video saying goodbye to the ones I loved the most, not realizing I'd brought myself to a church. I asked God to guide me, and when I didn't hear him, I drove to a bridge and I stood there ready to jump. But then my dad found me, and I'll never forget the pain in his eyes. I realized I was about to take all of my pain and heap it onto the people I loved the most. You see, I was living up to a stigma. The one that told me what I was feeling wasn't real, that I could fix it with books and podcasts, and that I could do it all on my own. If I wasn't here today, I don't think it's because I would have died by depression, but because of the way I felt I couldn't use my voice. So use your voice, and if you can't right now, I'll use mine. I'll be okay.
Grab glue. If you struggle with self-harm, grab Elmer's glue. Here's why. If you struggle with self-harm, I have self-harm before. My trigger for self-harm is failure. If I feel that I failed others, I had to feel pain. That's what brought on my self-harm. Now, coping skills like glue won't prevent self-harm, but it will help you through it. And here's how. When you get the urge to want to self-harm, grab Elmer's glue. Take the glue and place it where you normally self-harm, because we all have an area that we self-harm. Take the glue, rub it in very, very thin. That way it dries quickly. As the glue is drying, our brain is getting a little frustrated. We're not thinking about what triggered us as much as we are the glue drying. Once the glue is dried, start to just peel and scratch. Peel and scratch. And notice how it's hard for me to get it off if it's rubbed in right? There it is. I'm also now all focused on this instead of why I want to self-harm. And now I'm seeing change to my body. Next thing you know, I'm calming the urge. That's what coping's about, finding what works for you.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. Great I am. Great I am.
This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I wanna fly, can you take me far away? Give me a star to reach for, tell me what it takes, and I'll go
Jez Thornton's been invited to help launch the United Nations.
Jez Thornton. Jez, thank you for the Jez.
Hi. So I've started with the whole table to really kind of, I guess, portray the talking about it only does so much. We're struggling, there is hope.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing her after.
I think
our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
Before my best friend's family adopted me, I had to couch surf, and this is where I became really scared of the dark, because anytime I was in a guest room alone or whatever, I would wake up in the room and I would be screaming because I did not recognize anything around me and everything was just so dark. So I started sleeping with a nightlight or just any lights around me. These are the ones I use now, but basically I get to college and I don't have a nightlight, and I'm really embarrassed to tell people about what happened to me, so I don't want to tell my roommates that I need a nightlight to go to bed. So I start waking up every night screaming, where am I, where am I? So my roommates ask me, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? So I explain to them what happened to me, and then the next night I literally see a nightlight in one of the things, and my roommate's like, bro, don't worry, we got you. And then I wake up that night still screaming, and then he wakes up and he's like, bro, you're in college, you're gonna be okay, man. So then next year I literally move into a new apartment, new roommates, and one night I wake up screaming and I look at my phone and my roommate texts me and he's like, bro, you're in your new apartment, you're gonna do great. And at that point I just started crying.
If you find yourself overthinking about something, try this. I acknowledge the thought is just like a wave. I watch it go up and then float away. Each time you do it, the wave gets smaller and eventually rolls away, just like the thought. You can do it almost anywhere. I do it on my arm. Here's another way I like to do it. Find a way that works for you. I acknowledge this thought is just like a wave. I watch it go up and then float away.
In 5 days, it'll be 10 months. Since Courtney left us. 10 months since I've been a whole person. 10 months. And I still find it hard to breathe. 10 months.
save these. If you struggle from anxiety attacks or panic attacks, save these. These are salt packets. You get these whenever you go to a fast food restaurant. Save as many salt packets as you can. Here's why. When you have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, your brain literally just gets out of control. You're overwhelmed by thoughts. You disassociate from life. You don't hear things like you normally would hear. You don't see things. You're shaking and you're breaking down. It's your brain actually doing that to you. Salt packets, when you start a panic attack or an anxiety attack, rip it open, dump the salt on your tongue. That will instantly shock you because of the sense of taste. Salt will draw all your attention from up here to right here. Next thing you know, you're not thinking about what was going on in here, you're thinking about the salt in your mouth. Next, your brain has to think of, I need something to drink. So now you're drinking something. This fights off an anxiety attack or a panic attack. It's so strong that your brain can't comprehend anything else than making this taste go away. Trial and error to find out what works. You matter, and you got this.
I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid. I'm just a It's just a little mistake. It's just a little mistake. It's just a little mistake.
I see a lot of guys asking girls to do a wrist reveal, so I wanted to show you something cool. So this is my hip reveal. There's some marks from my boxes down there, but as you can see, there's barely any scars because today I am 4 years clean from self-harm. I first self-harmed when I was 12 years old, and when someone saw the marks, I got called a freak for doing it and was reported to the guidance counselor. The guidance counselor told my parents, and instead of suggesting that I go to therapy, I was told that I was seeking negative attention and was punished for it. So as any smart kid would do, I stopped doing it on my wrists and I decided to start doing it on my hips where people would notice. Singling someone out for harming themselves actually causes more hurt to them. And if you think that commenting on a girl's post to tell her to do a wrist reveal so you can make fun of her is funny, then you actually are showing signs of antisocial personality disorder and you should seek treatment. And if you need advice on finding a good therapist, just let me know down in the comments. Hope you get better.
Models popping bottles.